Hello, everybody. Oh, he's talking over me already. I'm going to start again. Uh, hello, everybody. Today, I'm interviewing my good friend Dane Quirk, mathematician extraordinaire, who has a huge beard, even bigger than the one I just shaved off moments ago. And then, once I'd shaved the beard, I was eating a chicken Kiev sandwich. The butter burst out and scalded my face.
Oh.
So if I'd have kept the beard, everything would have been fine. I know that's got nothing to do with mathematics or magic. However, here's Dane. Say hello, Dane.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Dane is my favourite Antipodean human being. And today he has, to add on to his previous work, where he discovered the meter in the measurements of a fret on a musical instrument and loads of other cool stuff. Today he's going to show us his latest discoveries, his beamings out and beamings back of the universe. Are you going to give us a clue what it's about, Dane? Are you going to give us a little line?
Yep. I'm here. Okay, so I'll just sort of hold this up here.
So, Dane, can you summarize what you're going to show us briefly before you actually expand on all that stuff?
Yep. So we're going to cover today. It's a massive day for me. It's the biggest day of my life, really. I've been excited about this for a couple of weeks. And then something came through yesterday that just ties it all together even further. So we're going to cover the Earth measures of, they knew the Earth measure before they even left a cave. That might sound crazy, but we'll get there. So they never had to go and check to see if the Earth was 7,920 miles, or they knew before they even left home. Where does the mile come from? So I was watching Randall Carlson again yesterday, and he was going through the mile, and he said it's very ancient, and we have no idea. We don't know how far back it goes, and we don't know where the origins are. But we're going to find the origins today. We got the origins of it. And imperial and metric, are they linked? Or are they, they're just not linked, like we're told, at all in any way, shape or form. So they are linked, and we're going to prove all these things here. And with first principles, with where no man can mess with it, no man needed to make it up, and no man or woman ever fudged it. It was discovered by the ancients, builders.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing about this ancient secret science, that it needs to be based on these base principles, these unchanging things of the universe. So that is one of my favorite things about it, because they have no other constants to rely on.
They're sort of locked in stone. They're laws. They are laws. I've been very repetitive about halving a string and you get an octave. You draw a circle and you get 6 fit around it. Now, these are laws that we can't break. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that I deal with. I don't deal with etymology, really. I don't deal with speculation of any kind. I'm just not interested in it, really. I don't know why, but I had to find the seed that, the theory of everything that everyone's been looking for kind of thing. It does exist. And I can't believe that it does, but it does. And we're here today to honour John Neal, to honour John Michel, who have recently passed, because they were the metrology legends.
Yeah, John Neal not too long ago at all.
Yes. So I actually caught up yesterday on Paul from Esoteric Explorer.
I think he was the last person to interview John Neal, wasn't he? I think he had a little thing in the pub, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Actually, they said it in I watched it yesterday. It went up 18 hours ago. And it was with Melissa, Matt, John Hart, and Adam Tetlow. Is it Tetlow? So, they did a little honorary thing for John Neal. So I'm going to read from John Neal. This was John Hart read this out on the Esoteric Explorer thing. So I'm just going to read this out. When I heard this last night, I thought I'm going to start with it. So this is John Neal. We haven't quite cracked it. The clear definition of just how length proportion and ratios combined remains just out of reach. But it will be found, and it will be simple. I'm going to say that again. It's so
There's a drum roll coming for things later on here.
Oh yeah, baby. And this is for Randall Carlson. This is for John Martineau. This between me and Ryan today, it's for the whole world. In fact, I'm going to say something insane. This ends, it really does end all religious conflict. All. Sounds like the craziest thing you've ever heard, but this is
I think
true.
that beard's getting to your head, mate.
No, it'll end all religious conflict. Every religion on earth, every spiritual practice on earth will now know the origins of everything their masters for thousands of years have ever said, where it came from, the seed from which all of it bloomed from. So if what I'm saying is about the religions having no more conflict is that they will know the seed and the origins, and they won't need their priests. You won't need any of your higher ups in the church anymore. That's over today. So I'll read that again. It's just out of reach, but it will be found, and it will be simple. That time and distance have a more intricate relationship related on the laws of physics and is undoubted. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've written that wrong. Anyway, the linkage awaits. So we're going to get to it. It's amazing to me too that yesterday was the day that Paul dropped his video about John Neal and the, with Melissa and Matt and all that. It's crazy that it was yesterday and that we're doing this today. So we'll start our little. Actually, one more thing I'll just read out here is about a couple of words, and I rarely do this, but so the words are key, K-E-Y, but also key with a Q, the Q-U-A-Y. So it means to encompass, encircle, pole, a stake, or a branch. Isn't that amazing? A key, circular key in Sydney at the Sydney Harbour. It starts with a Q. Circular key. It's basically, circular. So it's, key means encompass, encircle, pole, stake, and branch. And the next one is with scale. Scales, probably others have looked this up, but I'll just put it in. In the Latin, it means ladder.
Yeah, scala.
Yeah. So and so the Old Norse was bowl or shell, come to describe objects weighing on the plates and fish scales, obviously. Righto, so let's get into. We're going to start. Actually, I'll start with this one. So I'll just get this big one over here for a second. I don't know if you'll see. Yeah, here we go. So I'll just hold this up here. I made it big. So what I've done here is I've got a piece of a stick, really, from the building site. I put a hole in the stick and then shoved it through this masonite. And there was another nail out here at 200 millimeters. And I inscribed into this masonite quite a deep groove around here. It's quite a deep groove around all the way around. And I could actually fit my last ruler into it. And I've got a plastic ruler that bends really nice. So anyway, I measured it. No 22/7s or anything. Let's just measure a circle. So, of course, we already know, but it goes around 6 times and a little bit. And that little bit, we call it 2 pi. But I'm here today to tell the world that pi and that 2 pi has been a massive piss take on the entire world. We got gaslighted with it, and no wonder nobody found anything. Really, no wonder. We've got like the John Martineaus and legends, and smart people of the world, and everyone missed it because we were using a completely make-believe value for pi. So anyway, I measured the circle, and it was a 200 mil radius. So the circumference equaled 1257. And so the ratio there is 6.285. And after the 5, so there's 4 decimal places. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't, but yeah, carry on.
Yeah, whoops. Anyway, so
6.285, I could read that, yeah.
Yep. And after we get to the 5, so after the 5, you can go 6.2854 or up to 8. So that fourth decimal place can move, from 4 to 8, right?
Why is that? Sorry.
And why is that?
Because you're rounding up.
Yes, you can do the rounding. So it's 6.28. You can go 2858. Yes, you can keep rounding it. Anyway, I'll stay on track. And so I'm calling it as well the lemur, and that's actually historic. And the lemur is actually the extra bit in music, in the Pythagorean comma.
Oh, is that what they call the comma, the lemur?
Yeah. So
right.
I want to.
How's that spelled?
Hey.
How's that spelled? Sorry.
I just spelled it Limma. I think it might be one M, but yeah, you can look it up. I think it's double M.
Oh, limmer, as in liminal. Right, I get it. Yeah, makes sense.
So I want to give it a new name. Forget 2 pi. 2 pi sucks, and 2 pi confused the whole world for 2,000 years. Might be
this
longer.
is to work out the circumference. Everybody, by the way, 2 pi r is like saying it's just twice the radius rather than the diameter to work out the circumference.
It's a piss take. It's a piss take, and I'm going to show you why. And everyone will see like 100%. Holy shit! Yeah, we got taken the piss. So we know it goes around 6 times, and the leftover. Please, sir, can I have some more? So we got a little bit more, and
you can have a limmer. You're having one limmer.
Yeah. The little bit more is 2.856 or 2.857 or 2.858. Okay.
Right.
And the reason is not arbitrary either. So I'm going to go now to this one. So what we discover, it's pretty simple. I mean, I've never really looked at circles, and I feel embarrassed now. I think we all will after this, because it was all here. When we start with a radius of 1, it's pretty hard to measure a circle with a radius of 1. If it's a small circle, very hard to measure. And when you get into the micromillimeters, you need a magnifying glass and some,
Yeah.
So it's easier when you get a bigger circle. So, we build Avebury or Stonehenge or something. Circles, big circles, all different sizes. But as we do this scale, about scaling the circle, so when it goes scale up or scale down, when we start with 1, the radius of 1, the circumference is basically very hard to measure, because 6.2856 and 6.3 at a radius of 1 are the same. So because you've sort of, even when you plug it into a calculator, a pi calculator, that's what happens. Okay. Then when we go up to 10, so we just move the decimal place. Now we're at 62.856. When we do this, and we've got 63, so up here they were combined, as in like the 62.856 and the 66.3 were sort of together, and the radius was 1.
Yeah.
But then when we start to just grow it, I would have thought that when you just move the decimal place over, the radius would be 10, then 100, then 1,000, and it would just be even. But that's not what happens. What happens is the radius begins to grow ever so slightly as we just move the decimal place for the circumference.
Yeah.
We haven't made the circumference any bigger or anything. It's the same circumference. But the radius is growing. And I thought, oh, what's going on there? Okay. Interesting. So when we get to the scale of the string length, which I've already discovered is 630 millimeters, and it gives us the entire universe. This all works together. This is one system.
Great.
So when we get to 630 down here, we actually, now the radius has grown from, instead of just being a nice clean 100, it's 100.04 for the 6.825. Sorry, 62856. Just there, you can see it. And the very last one down here, 63 or 630. Look, you can see the radius has grown. Yeah, it's grown. So the difference between these is 0.23, right? And that is actually the how many cents it is, so that they call it cents in music.
Right.
And that is the Pythagorean comma, 23 cents. All right, that's why we can hear it. It's like whoa, 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 whoa. It's a bit out of tune.
Yeah.
They call it the Pythagorean comma. It's 23 cents, and the difference between these two radii, when we get to the string length, we've started at 1, 10, and now we're at 100. The difference between the two is 0.23. So, but then Ryan, the difference between these two here, there's 630 and 62856. The difference between the two is 0.144.
Ha.
Yeah. So that's
everybody out there that doesn't know what we're on about. 144 is one of these harmonic numbers, celestial harmonic numbers, hyperharmonics. 144, 288. It can carry on down that chain.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show that when we just move the decimal place across for our circumference, we haven't changed it. The radius doesn't behave. The radius grows a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things, Melissa and myself and Matt, and we all just sort of see that, there's these little tiny discrepancies and stuff. And what's going on there? Well, the ancients followed what a circle does, the laws of the circle, their observations of what this kind of does. Like, yeah, it's not behaving. It's sort of, there's it's growing a little bit here. So they notice this, and of course they incorporate these types of little discrepancies. John Neal, John Michelle, all these guys noticed little bits, only small, but again, they always just sort of drop those little discrepancies because they're so slight. So that the whole numbers, and we can see it's 864 or 216 or any of these numbers we're familiar with. So there's that first little thing there. Now we're going to go to, me and Ryan have covered this before. We got Howard Crowhurst, and he gave us the measure from the King's Chamber, or the Great Pyramid, to the equator. We've discussed this at length about it being the Mies. The Mies of Earth is the equator, and the Mies of the landmass, it was said, was Giza. So, two places where they're showing us the center. Now, I just said that key is to encompass, encircle, pole, stake, and branch. Think about Göbekli Tepe. It's an enclosure. There's poles and stakes type things up in the middle, and it's encircled and encompassed.
Well, the actual word for city, like a polis, it comes from the same word, a pole, a stake in the ground. You'd put your stake in the ground, and then your city could build from around that stake.
That's right, yes. And all obelisks in the world are an upside down. They're just an upside down one of these. That's all an obelisk is. Just it's a compass, just turned upside down, pointing upwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So from nothing, right? Now from nothing, everything, right? And a circle sort of represents. You want to riff on that? Yeah, you want to riff on that. What that symbol is? Obviously, this they say it's for the sun.
Yeah, it's the sun or gold. It's called the circumpunct. It's the indefinite center surrounded by its edge, basically. It stands for the soul or the self or the mind or it's the individual. It's the soul, or it's the soul, the sun, the thing that beams out from its center.
Yes. So I'll just rub this out. Okay. So before we get to, we'll go now to basically the mile and the meter and how they're connected, right? Because the biggest one's going to leave to the end, and it really is kind of the biggest grand hurrah of all time, really, of all time. So we're going to go here. I'll just turn, we might have to edit this little bit out, Ryan, if we need to, but that's all right. I'll just go to on the edge. And okay, here it is. So that's right. Here we go. So Ryan and I discussed about Howard Crowhurst and the distance from King's Chamber to the equator. And it was, this number here, 3,317,760 meters is what Howard gave us. And Ryan and I discussed in our video a few months back is that it was the column of D. And D, it was 9 hertz, right down to the bottom, right? So 9 is number 1, very down at the bottom. You times those together, and you get that 3,317,060 meters, right? So, Melissa and all of us have discussed this, that, wow, the D column seems to, relate to meters. How does this work? It's been a couple of months and now it's all come to fruition. So what we found as well, so we had the me's of Earth, the equator, the me's of the Earth mass, Giza. Now we've got the me's of the D column, is when we get down to the very center, it's 576. We times 576 by 576, and we get the distance from the equator to the King's Chamber. So then we know that Howard on the same video showed us that that's 4 million megalithic yards. So the D column is meters, and E, when you go to the E column in the Pythagorean harmonic series, you'll go to the very last E, and it's 82944. That's the megalithic yard. It's 0.82944 of a meter. So we know that. So it's 4 million megalithic yards, or 3,317,060 meters. Yeah. Yeah. So 36. Okay. For example, 36 times 9216 is the is my is my screen around the right way?
Yeah, everything looks fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 9216 by 36 is this 3 million thing. So we'll go, I'm going to show you now. This is how the meter and the mile are connected, and an absolutely incredible and very logical way to do this, and how it was always done. So music, of course, we've got the quadrivium, the astronomy, music, geometry, and arithmetic, or harmony and math. We're going to go 9216 times 36, and I've just said that's that 3,317,760, and we'll go. So it's there.
Sorry, that was 9216 times 36.
Yes.
Yeah, 331,776.
That's it. That's the distance from King's Chamber to equator.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll go. The same numbers, but just divided by. Okay, so go 9216 divided by 36, and it equals what?
256.
And that is C. Okay. Now there was in 1700s or 1600s, it was put forward by Johannes, not what was his name? Joseph. Anyway, me and Stephanie were talking about it the other day. But anyway, he put forward that it was going to be the scientific C or philosophical C. Now just think about that. Philosophical C. Okay. Oh, sorry, philosophical pitch on and scientific pitch. That's what they're naming it. I'm like, okay. So what we're going to see here is that 9 times. Okay, so we've got the C there, and it's C9 as well. But anyway, let's see. Now let's go.
By the way, everybody out there, if we keep saying things that you don't get, it's all music. Like C9 is the 9th C up the scale. If you had a massive keyboard, you just pick the 9th C note up there.
It's not lost on me that 99% of the planet think I'd be speaking some alien language right now. I get this. I know this. Everyone's busy paying their mortgages. I've had more time in this world than most human beings will ever have, ever. More free time than most human beings will ever experience. So this is no slight on anyone in the world. I've made sure I had the time to do this. So it's for everyone. I just want to do it for all the people that are working hard and trying to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go 9 because this is all still the D column. Okay, these are all D. So 9 times this other D, so D times D, 9 hertz times 9216 hertz is the megalithic yard, right? 82944. Okay, so we've got meters up here, 3 million, right? The meters are here. Here's the megalithic yard, all still just using D.
Mm-hmm.
And now I go and we start drawing circles. Now it's making sense why the ancients had this obsession with circles. We've been slow on the uptake on this. So what we do now is we draw a circle, right, with a radius. Is that right? Yeah, the circle, circumference of 9. Sorry, the circumference is 9. Circ, I'll just write circ.
Mm-hmm.
Circ equals 9. And radius, the radius equals 1.43. Then we draw a circle with the radius. Remember, we're 9 times up here, we get the megalithic yard. So then we're just drawing a circle. That's all we're doing. Of a circumference of 9, the radius is 1.43. Now we draw a circle with 9216. And the circumference is 9216. So I'll write circ equals 9216. And the radius is 1466. Okay. So here's the radius. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The radius for that one and the radius for 9. Now let's add those 2 radii. Okay, because it's given us the megalithic yard. See up there, 9 times 9216 gives us 82944. Gives us the megalithic yard.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just drawing circles. Now let's add those 2 radii together. And what do we get? 1609. We have the kilometer. Okay, this is 1609. 1 mile equals 1.609 kilometers. The C note starts with the tonic of 1. So it's 1. Yep. It's the 1, the monad.
Oh my! Sorry, I always check whatever Dane's telling me. I'm always here for you guys on the other end, checking everything. Because I mean, of course, Dane's checked everything 12 times, and I totally trust the guy. But it's good to investigate these things yourself. Yeah, everything he ever says, it comes out. I mean, 1.60934. But yeah, brilliant.
Yep. Because everyone's been telling us for the whole world for forever, since 1791. They've been saying there is no connection between the meter and the mile. There is none.
The French also said they invented the meter, though, so they can pee off.
Yes, but no, they stole it from Egypt.
Yeah, they stole it from Egypt. Yeah, it's clear.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, the whole world's going to see that the French stole it from Egypt, and they're going to see it today like they've never seen before, baby. Never. So let's go with 36 times 3. Sorry, 36 times 9216 is that 3 million. Yeah, I'll just write it. Yeah, 17760. And then we go. Where is it here? Sorry, guys. Yeah. It is here. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. Sorry, Ryan. Hang on a sec.
No worries, mate. That's why we record.
Yeah. I can't bloody find it. Where the fuck did you go? Have you got a calculator there, Ryan?
I will. Yeah, go for it.
Is it 9216?
9216. 2.16
divided by 36.
divided by 36 equals 256. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We used 9 times, 9216 a minute ago, and we got the megalithic yard and all that. Now we've gone to the, yep. So we've got meters again, still from the King's Chamber to the equator, using 36 times 2. It's all D. These are all D. And then we go, there's, just divide by 36, and we get philosophical C, scientific C. We get 256. All right.
I've never heard that term before.
Yeah.
Philosophical C.
Yeah. So now, Ryan, what we do is we draw a circle with its circumference of, with a radius, I think it is, of 256.
Sorry, just to interject quickly, a philosophical C note refers to the frequency of middle C, C4, set to 256 hertz, a standard proposed by Joseph Sauveur in 1713. There you go.
Yes. Yep. So now we're going to draw a circle. I think that was the radius. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 256 is the radius, I think, or is it the circumference? Anyway, and when you draw a circle, the circumference is 1609. Okay. So what I'm saying, you draw a circle with 526 and you get the 1609. So what we've got is meters, megalithic yards, and and how we actually, this 1609. I mean, this is very specific. A lot of people, Robert Edward Grant had a video, and Robert, you were wrong, brother. You said 1.6 and you showed it with a circle and you cut it up, and it's just 1.6. You're saying is the kilometer to the mile, but it's 1.609, and I think nobody's been able to find just that little bit at the end there, so we sort of just are happy with 1.6. But it's not the case. We can do it with the musical scale, and look what we're doing. We're using that D column. That I'd love Howard to see. I don't know if he knows about this because he was the one that gave us the measure, but I found that D column gave us that, all the way down to the Mies, 576 by 576. Incredible. 3 different Mises: equator, Giza, and D column. It's giving us megalithic yards, meters. Anyway, we're going to keep going. So we've just found out that when we draw a circle with, philosophical pitch or scientific pitch, we actually get the 1609.
Sorry, was that circumference or radius? The 1609.
I need me bloody calculator, I think. Just because I can't find this page here. Circumference. Circumference is. Oh, hang on. Yeah, the circumference is 1609 and the radius is 256. Yeah. Cool. So, very good. Righto. So we know that in a mile there is 528 feet. And anyway, there's 528 feet. And at Stonehenge, I saw Randall Carlson saying this yesterday. It was good just for a refresher. He said that the Sarsens, there's 30 stones, and it's I think it was 5.28 feet between these stones, and then up on the lentils it was 10.56. So we got the 30 stones and we times 528 by 2, which is what from Randall Carlson I got this about Stonehenge. And then by the 30 stones, now this number, I've mentioned it before, and you guys, I think Melissa's familiar with it, but it's 316.8. And it's just basically the Earth, 7,920 miles divided by 25 or times it by 5. This is John Neal, John Michel stuff. That number there, you're going to find in their work on nearly every page. It's in a lot. So yeah, this is Stonehenge. 30 times the 30 stones, we get that. I'm just going to bring this a bit closer. Bring this in closer. Oh, you guys see that all right? Oh, maybe not. You see that all right, Ryan?
I mean, yeah, I can't quite see it because of my small screen, but it'd be good for broadcast.
Cool. Righto. I'm glad we're recording this because we can edit out the crap. I'll just draw this nicely again here. All right. Okay. Righto, here we go. Oh, where's my bloody ruler? Here it is. Righto, so this is going to be pretty much the crescendo. We know we've just spoken a minute ago about the lemur. You remember the lemur? And I'm calling the lemur that little extra bit. Should I just do it on the small one? 2.858. And yeah. So remember earlier I said to you that the fourth decimal place it can range between 4 and 8.
Yeah.
This was 6.285.
Mm-hmm.
But we've dropped the 6, and we're just going to use the extra portion that the grand designer gave us, which is the circle. The grand designer is the circle. Hello, grand designer, because the extra portion, you'll see. So 2.85, and this here is 4, right? Now, what we do, watch carefully. The whole world, anyone that's interested in stuff especially, watch careful, baby. Can't believe none of us have done this yet. So let's draw out to the edge. Okay. And let's just use that little portion. 2.854. Right, you can drop the point if you like. Doesn't matter. Put the point there, doesn't matter. Now, what does the mile mean? Ryan, do you know what mile means?
Isn't it something like to walk or something like that?
No, it means 1,000.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Me like I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Yep.
Mil. 1,000. Yeah.
Yep. And again, Randall yesterday, as I'm listening along, he's like, we've got no idea how old it is, but it's ancient. We just don't even know its origins. But if a mile equals 1,000, that's what it means. So where did we get it from? How old is it? So I'll ask you a question, Ryan. They made the base of the Great Pyramid 3,024 feet, right, all the way around. So one side of the Great Pyramid is 756 feet, and all the way around is 3,024 feet. Does anyone know why they specifically chose that? They could have made it of any size. Why that number? Why that size?
Probably.
Yep.
Probably from. I mean, this is an educated guess. Probably because the internal structure, when you take all the various lines connecting the base, the tip, and the side, one side to another, you start to get the mathematical constants out of it, and the meter and the yard and all this stuff. Is it something to do with that?
Yes. Yep. So let's actually do this. I'll do it on the small one here. And I'll just get my little compass and I'll draw another circle here. Okay. So I've just lost my train of thought. What we saying about 1,000. And what did I ask you again? Sorry, mate.
You asked me the 4 sides of the base of the pyramid. What were they for? Why?
Yeah. And, why did they choose this 3,024? They could have picked anything. And Ryan's just said, so we'll go, how did they even get it? we know that 3024 is it divided by 6, divided by 2 pi r, whatever it is, 6.285 equals,
Do you need me to do maths? I've got a
yeah,
calculator here. So what's the calculation?
3024 divided by 6.285.
481.145.
Yeah.
Do you need all the digits?
No, what is it? 481.
0.145. If you want more than 3 digits, if it's 3 digits after that decimal, it's 146.
That's fine. That's good. So what do we got there? We've actually got the base of the Great Pyramid. We divided it by the circle, 6.285, and we get the height. So if you can imagine in your mind that you've got the base at that, that size, 3,024 feet, and you've divided it by your circle, right? Your 2 pi,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go, and that pulls it up to 481 feet. All we've done, think about how this is unbelievable. 3,024 divided by the circle and gives us the exact height of the Great Pyramid. Now that slope angle is automatic, isn't it?
Yeah, has to be, yeah.
And that slope angle is E, 51.84. 51.84 hertz is the note of E.
E, yeah.
So this is automatic, and it just came from a circle, nothing else, just from a circle. So we're not done yet, not even close. So the mile equal, it means 1,000. Now this is where we're going to get to. Stars will fall from the sky. Here we go. We're going to take this here, Ryan. Oh, can you see that? Okay. Yeah, got to there.
I got really close.
Yep, here's the circle. And what we're going to do, we've got this here out to we're going to make the radius 1,000. You could make it 10 or 100, but we're going to make it 1,000. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to draw a line to our little 2.854. We just draw a straight line. It's not curved anymore, obviously, because I'm using a ruler. Just straight up there, right? We're going to draw this. I might do a dotted line across here. Dot, dot, dot. Like it. Go down. Let's just draw a line. What is the hypotenuse? So there's the base of the triangle. Here's
okay.
Up the side is 2854. What's the hypotenuse, Ryan?
I mean, what is the concept of a hypotenuse? Or
no.
What you want me to work it out?
No, it's okay. I'll give it to you. You ready?
Yeah.
This is for all of mankind. Love you guys. Love yous. It's going to be okay. It sounds ridiculous.
Everything's going to be fine.
And no, it sounds ridiculous, but it isn't. It isn't. The hypotenuse, we've used it as 1,000. A mile equals 1,000. Randall kept saying all day yesterday. We don't know why, where it came from, what the mile, what's going on with it. No idea. Here we go. It is 3024.
Oh,
that is the hypotenuse. All we've done is gone 1,000. Use the please, sir. Can I have some more?
Yeah.
I asked my daughter. I tell my daughter all the time, and now I say to her, all I've got to say is, Poppy, how many times does the radius go around a circle? She goes, 6 times and a little bit, Dad. And I go, that's right, my darling. She's never going to forget this, ever. So, 1,000. And we use the please, sir, can I have some more? Up here for the side. The hypotenuse is 3,024. Where did the ancients get this measure to build the greatest monument on planet Earth? Right there. Circle. They got it from a circle. And it was
why would
15,000 years ago.
Why do you think they went for the hypotenuse? Is it because it's a small value in all those bigger values? That's a small value they can pluck. Do you think it's also that these hyperharmonic numbers are involved? Did it? Oh, it's too much to take in, Dane.
Does everybody should know this if they've done any study on this sort of thing? What is a triangle? It is mother, horizontal, as we like her. Forgive me, ladies. Mother, horizontal. Father, child.
So, yeah.
That is why. The hypotenuse is the child.
The child of it, yeah.
And this is how the ancients, you've got to think about people 10,000 years ago. They drew this circle. They had a party for maybe 10 years. They just partied when they fucking drew that circle and discovered, because you've got to understand, people. And really, I don't mean I mean, just please grasp this, that all we've done is drawn a circle and we've got all this. And that number, the astrologers in the village, they already knew that number. You know what that number is to them, the astrologers? They straight away went, that's Saturn. That's an octave of Saturn, because Saturn is 378 days synodic period, which all ancient cultures knew the synodic periods of every single planet. Why did they care so much, and why don't we? We don't give a shit. You tell people synodic period, they go, what?
What was synodic? Yeah.
No, I'm
So
telling
the
you,
real synodic, they got no idea.
no idea. 3-year-olds, you should all be embarrassed. Your ancestors, at 3 years old, knew this stuff. Not joking. And people think that it's silly. If you go to Egypt or any of these, I've never been, but if you go to these places and just look up and be in awe, these people took this stuff more serious than anything else. How serious? Go and stare at the pyramid. That's how serious they were.
That's pretty serious. Yeah.
Pretty huge. And they did it on every continent on the planet and on scales that we just can't even fathom. So how important was it to them?
So sorry, we were just saying Saturn, and so how many times a synodic period?
Yes.
Sidereal period, sorry, is that?
Synodic period, yeah. And so what they realised was, I should get my guitar out. I don't really want to sing it, but la la la. I won't sing it.
La 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 la.
No, it's just the all the way up the 7 notes up to the octave. Okay.
Okay.
There are 7 notes, and the 8th note is the same as the first one. It's the octave.
Yeah.
So they know that 378 times 8, which is obviously
literally going up an octave, right? 3024, right. Yeah.
What we get is 3024. Why is Saturn the god of time? Nobody can tell me this. Not a single human being on Earth. Not a video, and I've watched 10,000 hours, man, of every dumb Saturn video that there is. Most of them, 99.9% of them, are just the dumbest thing that I'll ever see. And I've watched.
Yeah, they really are, though.
They are the dumbest thing on Earth. Everyone needs to get away from the Saturn cube. It's just as simple as, yes, we're going to show again with my 63, string length, is that you divide this 378 by 6, and you get 6.3. The string length. This is all, like I said, one system, and it checks itself. Like you can check your work. You can check it works. Yes, in every system, perfection. Then you can walk away. Tick.
But
done.
Isn't it like holy or something that that all these things, that you can do that to that circle. Then we have these hyperharmonic numbers, and then we start, it gets very celestial, very cosmic, very quickly.
Well, yes, it does. And we were just about to have Ryan soil himself, because we're not finished.
That's where I've already soiled myself, mate. I turned up to the interview with dirty underwear.
Yeah, good. That was smart. So I really want to I want to get it closer. But Randall, are you out there, buddy? And all you guys, all you metrologist guys, I'm sure these guys surely need to rush to the toilet, because these guys have been doing it for years and years and years. So they straight away understand this stuff. I know most of the watching are new to it, but the guys that know this stuff, are you seeing this, fellas? 1,000 is the mile. That's what it means. We use 1,000, then we use that little leftover, that's been given by the circle. No one can change it. No one can do it. It's a law that's locked in. We just measure it. That's what it is. That extra little bit, and we get the hypotenuse of that. Now, why did the ancient builders use that? And that's actually found in other sites too, that 3,024. It's not just the Great Pyramid. It's found in other places. So, of course, even if they weren't in contact with each other, these cultures, everyone can draw a circle, right? And everyone can figure out, oh, 6 and a little bit. 6 and a little bit. And some guys that are super keen, like me, would have went, let's figure out how much that little bit is. Maybe
So,
God's trying to tell you. Yeah.
You analogize that little bit to a Pythagorean comma. Is it actually at all related to that Pythagorean comma? Is there something going on between those two things?
Yes. If you rewind from the very start of our conversation, I mentioned that 0.23 and the difference between the radii. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, go back and if you later on, I already sort of covered that. But yes, it is covered sort of thing. Like we find that 23 cents in the radius of these circles, and as we know, like an octave, 7 note, it is a circle because it returns back to the tonic. Yeah. So everything is a circle. Everything. So let's now go to. Oh, actually, no, haven't finished there. Right, so we haven't quite finished. So I said to you earlier, I held up the board and I said that they knew the size of the Earth and they never had to leave home. Because everyone's saying, like, they must have measured the Earth so that they knew the Earth measures. Because everyone in the whole metrology world says their Earth measures, and they, all these sacred numbers and the harmonic numbers, they're from the Earth measures. So therefore, everybody has been saying, and sort of understandably so, that they must have went and checked the size of the Earth. They must have been able. And then Matt has shown us that the guy measured the shadow.
Yeah, done a well. Yeah.
Yep. But we never even had to measure a shadow. Don't have to measure a shadow. No need. The ancients didn't. That guy, who did you say it was that did the shadow thing? Anyway.
Is it Aristophanes, someone like that?
Yeah, and he was very close and all that. But if he had known this, he wouldn't have bothered. I'll show you why. Yep. So we're going to draw now a bigger version of that triangle. So I'll just rub out some stuff here so I've got some space. And I'm going to draw a bigger version of that triangle. Oops. We'll do it here. So I'll just draw a bigger version. This is going to get extremely exciting, people. So just if you can hang in there with me. Especially because I can't. Yes, there you go.
I actually got his name right. It was Aristophanes.
Well done.
It is a well done, that.
Yeah, I would not have remembered that. Okay, so we've got 1,000 down here. We've got 2, 8, 5, 8, I think it was. Oh, there might be a 4 actually there. Anyway, and 3, 0, 2, 4. Right? How we haven't done this is insane. Now let's go. We're going to give you, when we do this you guys can do this online if you like. It's a bit of fun, but it gives you, when you go to the calculator for a triangle calculator, I use the right angle triangle calculator. So it gives you the perimeter, the area, the in radius, the circumradius, and I think that's it. And it gives you, A, B, C, and also there's a little dotted line across here. Yeah, and they call that the H there, right? That's not the hypotenuse. It's this other little kind of, they give you this little dot, 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 and it's from this corner up to here. Yeah. So we'll just write those down here. A, B, C. So that's, here's A, B, C, right? So we'll give that 1,285.4, I think it was, and C is, of course, our very magical number. Now, we've got the H as well. The H is, this is incredible. This is incredible. It gives us, I think I might ascend soon. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it gives us 943.7. Now, we can round that up, can't we? We can round that up. Everyone happy with that? We can round that up to 944. Amen? Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not going to amen you, dude. Hey, you bear, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm so used to saying it. I'm not even Christian, but anyway. So anyway, but we'll just leave it as 9437. But 944 is more than fine. And 944 is what? You might have missed our chat, Ryan, but 944, 0.944, what is that? That is the 12th root of 2. The 12th root of 2 equals
the thing that you use to work out the scales on the guitar fret.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So it's giving us everything. It's like the grand architect said, if you just look at a circle, I'm going to give you the blueprint to the entire galaxy in one tiny circle. There's scriptures in the Bible that say that God is not in the storm. He's not in the thunder and the clouds right. He's also not in the crazy equations of crazy mathematics.
Yeah, but he does always carry a pair of compasses in more modern interpretations, and you can find those companies going back to deities thousands of years ago, from China to flipping Turkey.
Yep. It's the most important thing to our ancestors. It might not be to you, but more for you. That's it. So we're going to go here. So we've got the H. Now let's go perimeter. It gives us the perimeter. Perimeter equals. Look at this number. You ready for this? 687. 687. Straight away, the meteorologists are freaking out right now. What is 687? That is the distance between latitudes.
Oh, is it?
Yep. And it's also the orbital period of Mars. And it's also fret number 2 on the guitar when I use a 630 millimeter string length and use the 12th root of 2. Right? First fret's the moon. Second fret is Mars orbital period. 24th fret is Saturn. I've shown all that in the other video.
Mm-hmm.
There are no mistakes. There are zero mistakes. And I've seen so many people, and God bless all of yous. But I saw a guy yesterday with Slick Dissident. His name's Gabe, and another guy on Innoverse podcast. Great podcast. They got great guests.
Yeah.
And really good. Been around for a few years or more. And yeah, they're great. I'd recommend their podcast channel. And they were talking yesterday. It was an Aussie bloke. And I was like, hey, I've never seen this guy. LC Lucas. Oh, no, LC King or something. Anyway. And he'd gone 108 times 27 and stuff. And he got all these synodic periods, but they were like 2 days out, 1 day out. They were very close, but it was no cigar. And if you watch this, brother, you'll see why you were so close. You were so close, and great effort in what you were doing, but just a tiny little bit. You said 27. Well, it was 28.5. As I've shown, right? Only slightly out. And we got it from a circle. We didn't just come up with it from nowhere. We just used the extra bit of the circle. That's all we did. So 687. It's 6. It's not 0.7. It's 687.81. Okay, this is the perimeter. The area. Let's give you the area is 1427. The in radius. Okay, in radius is 414.72. This has come up in my research a lot, this number, and it's also in John Neal, and you'll find that everywhere, 41472. Anyway, that's the in radius. And the circumradius, sorry guys, let's just get over here. Circumradius is equals, where is it? 1152. Okay, 1152. Now, this is now basically all the things that we got from that triangle. Okay, we've got the A, B, and C for the different sides. We've got H up there. We've got perimeter, area, and in radius, and circumradius. Okay. Now watch what here we go. Drum roll for the universe. Let's take, okay, what did I say before? I said they didn't even leave the cave and they knew how. I made a joke with my father earlier and I said, hey, Dad, the old blokes, the old astronomers and the old legends of the camp, they found this. They did exactly what Dane did. And I'm talking identical. They even just, they did exactly what I did because you can't do it any other way. There's no other way to do it. They found this out. They had a meeting. This is just imagine. And they got the young fellas together and they told them a secret. And the young fellas were like, whoa. And they went, we're going to go and check. So they got in their ships and they went off and they checked. And they put bets on. And they said to the old blokes, I bet it's not that big. And the old blokes went, you guys can go and check. See us when you get back. They went and checked the size of the Earth. They got back with their tail between their legs. And they went, we lost the bet. It was that size. So let's show you how they never left home to know exactly how big the Earth was without measuring a shadow either. Let's take the circumradius, 1152. You want to do this, Ryan? Because it's exciting. And remember, we've only started by drawing a circle. That across there is 1,000. That up there is that little extra bit, the 285, blah, blah, blah. And that's the hypotenuse. We got it from there. We have all these measures. Okay. Circumradius, 1152 times the perimeter, Ryan, 687.81.
Do we drum roll now?
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Oh, my word. What is the actual circumference? That is, by the way, everybody out there, 7920 is the approximate size of the Earth according to these hyperharmonic numbers. 7920s. Is it D 7920? What is it? E?
No, 7920 is not a musical note.
Is it not?
But no. So hang on, we got circumradius. Yeah, circumradius.
So the number we've got out of that is 792,357.12. What is the actual?
Yeah, the actual size of the Earth's diameter is, according to the these days, is 7,926. Right? They always give us 7,920 because that's the mean average of the diameter. Yeah. But it's actually 6 extra kilometers, they say. And what have we just done? We've gone the circumradius. And again, we only drew a circle. We haven't done anything. We've done nothing.
Wait a minute. Where is our reference to anything other than circles or musical notes? There's nothing, is there?
There is nothing. Sorry, this is the theory of everything, and it's infallible, undebunkable, and kiss my ass.
I'll kiss it, mate. Pull him down. I'm kissing.
No, I don't. Yeah, I say kiss my ass, and it's the public know that it's not to you guys. Surely, I'm a peasant, so I'm not talking to the peasants. Anyway, so we've got circumradius 1152 and the perimeter 687.81. Times them together, and you get 7,923 points. What is it, Ryan? 0.594.
792,357.12. I've got.
Yeah. So there we go. We have the circumference, or the equatorial diameter, and all we've done, we haven't done any math. Can you say there's no square root? I haven't done square root of anything.
Can we go back to this cave though? Let's go back to this cave where all these old fellas are having a chat. How would they then go, oh, wait a minute, what would inspire them to say that number, that measure, was the size of the Earth? How would they correlate those two?
Because we're not finished.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
You know me, I've always got questions. I'm always
great.
I'm always looking a bit further and just trying to work out any holes in it. This is amazing, by the way. I'm loving it. And simple. Yeah. So simple.
We can show this to the primary schoolers and they'll be all over it in 5 seconds. It's that easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is that simple though.
It's that simple. So,
overall.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this one. I'll rub this out now. Which one will I use? I'll use this one. and I'll just show you some other incredible things. I'm just getting a bit distracted, but I'm trying to answer your question there, Ryan. So 12,756 kilometers is the Earth in kilometers, okay?
Right.
Because we're used to the miles. We're used to that 7920, but in kilometers, it's 12,756.
Yeah.
And we times that.
Oh, hang on. I just did a calculus. So I've got 7,920 miles is 12746 kilometers. Is that what you just said?
No, it's 12,756.
I got 46.
Yeah, no, you can Google it if you like. It's and it comes up 12,756 kilometers.
Yeah. No, I'm on a calculator now.
And 28. Hang on, I'm just going to show you this one. So that's the. I should put kilometers. Put km. So that, at the very top there, that's the kilometers of the. I think it's equatorial diameter.
Okay.
Or it could be the circumference. Anyway, of.
I actually trust your maths over mine, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, I just Google it anyway, and it comes up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we take that kilometers and we times that by 0.0286, and all we've done is rounded up that we had before 285.
Yeah.
6 or whatever. So we've just rounded up a bit because what it does, you'll see why that is. The answer, that's kilometers by basically our little lemur, which is I like calling it the lemur, and the answer is 365.20428.
Get fucked.
No, that's
What?
amazing.
What?
Yep.
What? So
Yep.
sorry, start from the beginning of the calculation again. I don't think I took it in properly exactly what you did. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. It just gets way more hardcore. You better get you changing up here.
What the fuck?
Yes. But it gets way more mental. Let me just hold this page up here for a second. I'm going to show.
You're gonna make me cry and shit myself.
Yeah. You might have seen the one with Matt and Melissa about the fretboard and all the stuff that I found there. Absolute utter perfection. Not me. It was always there. And nature, I just fell upon it once more. We once knew this stuff. Now we once again do.
Yeah.
So I took, for example, the base of the Great Pyramid. Okay.
Right.
Let's have a look. 3,024. And I went to with my fretboard discovery, I went, okay, let's go to the 22nd fret. That's D. Okay, I've got a guitar behind me here and I can play it for you. Go up to the 22nd fret and it is D. The millimeters of the width of that fret, remember we have to have a 630 millimeter string length and the chromatic 12-note system with equal temperament. All those things have to be there or the universe doesn't lock in.
Right.
So, so we take the millimeters of that, the width of the fret. It's 10.5 millimeters. So we've got the base of the Great Pyramid, the whole thing, the perimeter, 3,024. We divide it by the millimeters of the 22nd fret, D, and we get 288. So do you understand this, guys? Yeah, we've taken the base of the Great Pyramid, we take fret 22's width, right, which is D, and we get the note of D, 288 hertz. Now, this goes on and on and on. I can choose any fret that I like. I can go the base of the Great Pyramid, and let's go to the 10th fret, which is also D. And it's 21 millimeters wide. So we divide the Great Pyramid base by 21, and we get 144. So it doesn't matter which note you pick and what fret. It corresponds to the fret you're on. It corresponds to the frequency it makes. Everything.
Man, wait, one second. I need to go and do something. 1 sec.
Yep.
I need to put this hat on.
You need to do an Arm and Hilbert. You need to get out the whip and start whipping the ground like Armin.
Hats off to you, sir. That's what I'm saying. That's amazing.
No, hang on, Ryan.
I know you're not finished. Go on.
You are so not allowed to go anywhere, brother, because I'm about to make you actually go to your mother and say, Mum, I need a cuddle. Okay? Really? Where do these harmonic numbers come from, Ryan 7 and the rest of the planet? Where do they come from? I'm going to show you right now. You've never seen anything like this in your entire life, and you never will again.
Okay.
3,000.
This is going to be great.
3,000.
I thought I already had this bit worked out. So let's see what you go on.
No, it's
Blow
time
mind
to
further.
I actually understand why they burned the books back in the day, because it didn't matter. We need another book burning. I think we should burn every book on the planet, and we won't miss a thing, because all we needed was this. They knew that too anyway, by the way. When they burned all those libraries, they knew that all of this would just come back, because it's in
just
nature.
there.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can burn every book. Everyone's like, oh no, the Library of Alexandria. And we thought that, and I get it. I was the same, but not anymore. I'm like, no, they knew that it would come back no matter how many times they burned it. So let's go. The base of the Great Pyramid, which we got from where? Rewind. Go and have a look. So the base of the Great Pyramid. Let's do Mr. 7. We're going to use what? We're going to use our little baby lemur.
Okay.
Okay. 2858. Okay. Right.
Do you want me to do that?
I want you to do that.
So what were the numbers? What's the calculation? Sorry.
3,024.
3024 times
our little bit. Please, sir, can I have some more? 2.858.
I'm gonna have to burn that number into my brain. Oh my word! 864. It's the size of the sun.
What's the number just after it, Ryan?
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's the it's the procession of the equinoxes. It's the great year. What? And both of those are harmonics. So 864 is 864,000 is the approximate size of the sun, and then 2592 is 2,500. 2,000. Oh no, it's not. Is it 29? Is it not 29,520? 25 now. No, he's right. Yeah, it is right. Yeah, it's right. My brain went. I took a few weeks off, guys.
That's fine, mate.
Yeah, I needed my brain to reset. Yeah. Oh my word.
So what we've done, human beings across the earth, what we've just done here is we've drawn a circle. We've got the hypotenuse. We found out it's the Great Pyramid. Holy shit. Then we times the Great Pyramid's perimeter by, again, the same number, the same lemur, the little extra bit of the circle. That's it, right? 2.858. Now we get the size of the sun, 864, plus precession of the equinoxes.
Yeah.
all in one effing number. Are you effing serious? So let's take half the base. Let's take half the base, Mr. 7, and we will go 1512 by the same number. What do we get? Of course, we get 432. 432 point. Where is it? 432.1. Or is it point there anyway? 1296. Again, these are all, that's A. Okay. Also 864 is A. So these are, the size of the sun, precession of the equinoxes, all the musical notes. Okay. What am I missing? Nothing. I have missed nothing, because we're still not even finished. I could go for another 3 days and make people cry forever, because it's so perfect. They won't be crying at me, or they'll be going outside doing this. Going, I get it. I can see I wasn't a mistake. The earth is the size that it is because that's why. Okay. Did you know that if there is a grand architect, that the grand architect is also bound, meaning bind. It's bound, like we are. So we're prisoners, bound. So is the creator, because it's bound by harmonic laws, like, constructive interference, destructive interference, when it's out of tune, okay, that oscillation.
Phasing, yeah.
These laws can't be broken even by the grand architect. Nothing can break these laws, or everything doesn't exist. It's chaos. It's just nothing. There is no thing. So the circle, even the creator cannot make that circle, the radius go around 6 times evenly, there's always, if we go to another planet and they draw a circle and we watch an alien draw a circle, he's going to go 6 and a little bit.
In a limmer.
Yeah. So we're all on the same page. Doesn't matter what galaxy we're in. Everyone's like, you guys getting 6 and a little bit? Yeah, we're getting 6 and a little bit too. What about you guys? No, we're getting 6 and a little bit. Yeah. That little bit, right? Because people that were keen, like the Magi types, they measured that little bit and then they realized, oh shit, that little bit gives us the entire universe.
What is that though, Dane? What is that though? What is that? What's in that little bit? What if you took all these things and compared and contrasted each little bit and realized the actual fundamentals of what's building that little limmer, that little hypotenuse on the limmer? Like what the hell's going on there? This is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do. When we draw a circle and we get the radius, which is what I did, I actually, drew it on that masonite and I went around it. I did it really carefully. I bent my rule. As you can see, it's nice and bendy. I bent it round and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I didn't need 22/7. I didn't need 44/7. What do I need any of that bullshit for? I just fucking measured it. That's what I did. I measured it. And sure, it's the same. Yes, 44/7 does give us 6.285. Yep. But you don't need that equation. Just don't be lazy. Just measure. Just bloody measure it. Anyway. Yes. So basically, yeah. I could even show okay, how's this one, Ryan? No one's ever seen this either. I don't understand how we missed this. All of the plants on Earth, as we know, nearly all of them, grow to the phi ratio. We understand 1.618, and we know about the golden angle of 137.5. You can watch a great video. It's actually on Robert Seffer's channel. I found it the other day, and I was like, I've been looking for it forever. And he'd actually put in a segment there. It was a guy on TV, like normal TV, like morning TV, and he was with the host, and he's showing. We've got a what do you call it? A square, but it's set to this 137.5. Okay, and what he does is he's got outcuts of leaves, tree leaves, and he shows the host of the TV show. Look, when you use this angle, we put the leaves never cross over, only like this tiny bit, but it's the best way for all the leaves to fan out. Now, this is known. This is known about in science. It's understood. Now, we know that the plants are growing with this angle, with this magical golden angle. So what if we draw a circle? What if we draw a circle of with a radius of this? Okay. What is the circumference? It is 864.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. So let's just think about this in a philosophical and deep way.
So can I just point out before you carry on down that line that the significance of the 137 being the fine structure constant.
Yeah.
That's like as far as modern science can figure out, that's the bottom of the universe. That's the literal number that keeps everything in balance. If it was a little bit higher or lower, you couldn't have, fusion in stars and similar. There'd been no cell division. The universe wouldn't work.
Exactly. It's the number they say physicists are scared of. So, but we know that the sun gives life, right? It gives out the photosynthesis we hear, right? It's given us, right? And then we know 137, as Ryan's just explained. So when we draw a circle with 137.5 and we get the circumference of 864, could be the other way around. Anyway, that is why, I mean, you guys are understanding this, that when you draw a circle with this and you get the sun, now we know why the plants are growing with this 137.5 degree angle, because we just draw a circle and we just got both of them. The sun is giving us this angle in a circle. I've never seen that before.
It's almost too much for me to take in. I'm normally quite, you know, when you and I chat, we're on the similar page. Obviously, you got your specialist area, but we're in a similar page. But this, your ability to explain these things has increased exponentially over these little podcasts. And this one, I'm totally on board with you. I still don't understand any of it. I mean, I understand everything you've said.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything anymore. Everything I'd learned just went, we don't need you anymore. Over there, we'll just
put this in. I need to say this. You know why it's difficult to, it's not difficult. This is not difficult. You're understanding. Again, it's everyone. It's pretty simple stuff. But what's hard, I think, what's difficult for people is to accept that this is design.
Yeah.
And there's the resistance that I feel and see and observe isn't that this is incorrect or anything. It's just the implications. The implications mean that you are a created being. There is an architect. It was very deliberate. It is harmonically perfection, the circle thing with the six and a little bit, all these laws that are just naturally there without us doing anything. This is what the ancients observed and they then just copied. So even things like a circle with 22.22, it was. Now, the law of averages, the ancients did this. I can show in future episodes that they just dropped that off there just to make it clean because it's 35.4 kilometers and 22 miles, right? Miles and that's kilometers. Basically, you draw a circle with a 22 and you get 34. Sorry, 35.4 thing. So, this is a straight line, which is your radius. That's pretty much a straight line. A straight line creates a circle, and a circle creates a straight line. Because what they did is they got the radius, they drew the circle, might have put a rope or something around it, and then just snipped it. This is, imagine in your mind, right? There is a big ending of a circle. You just snip the line, you roll that line out, and there you have a measure. So your radius to your circumference is part of this system where they derive these measures.
Mate, I've just had a weird mystical thing happen. I just need to tell you quickly. Yeah. It just popped in my head. I saw them tying knots in that rope, and there were 12 knots, and they made a 3, 4, 5 triangle out of it. Is that? I don't know if it's any use to you. It just popped in my head, and I was like, "Whoa, you should tell him that."
Yes, that's incredible because the 12 notes of the system, like even Pythagorean system had 12 notes. Like this is ancient, the 12 notes. Okay, like as ancient as it gets. And I can show you on the guitar. I mean, Robert Grant, you're not a muso, bro. You've really been talking some silly stuff about, like, say, you wanted to add an extra note. I really have to ask people, like, I said in the last interview with Matt and Melissa, right, is that all this stuff about these harmonic numbers that you've been writing a book on and all this stuff, it's not about any of that. If you're a guitar luthier, he doesn't give a shit about your 2/3 or your fifth or your perfect fourth. He don't give a damn, okay? You need something to play it on. Now, you can come up with and divide the string and do all your mathematics with your calculator, but if you then go and try and play it on something, what are you going to play it on? You have to have an instrument that can do what you're asking, what you're suggesting is, on your mathematical stuff with your harmonics. You have to, these frets, where you put them is, you can't put them anywhere. You can't space them just out, just put 24 on there and it'll work. No. So where are you going to put an extra note, right? They're just all half steps.
Yeah.
Where's the spacing between there? Where are you going to put it? So basically there's 12 notes, okay? And the 12 notes have been around forever. All the differences is how they tuned. They had, we've called it equal temperament tuning now. I think they called it, I wish Stephanie was on the call right now. She'd give us all the different ones. She's written books about it. So, yes, the luthier and this 12-note chromatic system, the 24 frets is basically, all it is 2 octaves. You can just go up to 2 octaves. Now, I don't know if you saw that video, Ryan, but when we fret 24, and it was 157.5 millimeters from the nut or the bridge, can't remember, and it's on the 24th fret. So 24 on position, 157.5 millimeters, and it's 378. It's the synodic period of Saturn. You can't it is the boundary. It is the limitation.
So it makes me wonder why there isn't more musical mythology around Saturn. There's cutting and dividing.
Yes.
You
Well,
expect there to be more music. I don't know. I need to think. This is another year's worth of thought you've given me here.
yeah, sort of. All I would recommend for people, and I'm not the only one to say this. There was a great master, like a Plato type person, that said this. They said, if you really want to know stuff, don't go anywhere near the Greeks. Don't go near the Greeks. The Greeks didn't know a fucking thing. They were playing around in a playground that was incredible, and they didn't know what they were doing. They went into say you'd never played with cameras, and they went into a camera store, and they had all this incredible camera equipment, but they had no idea how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Greeks. The Greeks were either, smearing shit in their eyes and taking mushrooms and gagging anything that had something wet. They were sickos, and they have nothing to offer the world. Very, very little. About 5%, but 95. You're going to waste a lot of years on that shit.
But I'm not. Wait a minute. Pythagoras was cool though. He'd been round to Babylon and all that. I think Pythagoras is a bit of a myth though. Really, I think he's kind of like what those early Greeks had discovered from these earlier cultures, kind of pushed into one character. I'm not saying he wasn't alive. I'm just saying that he's not as real as you might think he was.
Yeah. Now the other thing too. Sorry, Armin, if you're out there, mate. Now, who are the people on Earth today that use a lot of words, like thousands of wordy people? They're lawyers. They're untrustworthy maggots. And people use more words, and it's we sort of celebrate the Greeks like, they got 16,000 different words, more than anywhere else in the history. They had the most. That's because they were the biggest liars. And that's why the liars need more words. What are the Egyptians and that doing? They're not writing they're giving you symbols, and the symbols they knew had more depth than any ABC or any language on the planet forever, because they knew they would get lost anyway. They wouldn't be able to read it. They knew the symbols. The power of the
Sorry,
symbols.
just to correct you, I'm loving where you're going. I just need to say there was an actual written demotic Egyptian language as well as the hieroglyphs.
Okay,
it just wasn't used in the temple. A bit like Hebrew. Hebrew wasn't used by the people. It was only used in the temple.
Yeah, I'm sus on Hebrew. Franco Collins back in the day, he's like a blue blood from a family of ridiculous blue blood.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that Hebrew is not ancient. It's fairly modern. But anyway,
it is. It is, yeah.
They're full of shit. They got basically taken to Assyria, and they stole everything from Babylon and recrafted it in their own way, and now they take credit for everything. Anyway,
I agree.
God bless them. So let's go 1008, and we'll times it by the lunar, just so you guys can see some more sexiness. 858. And we get 288.864. You see, like you can just we can. This is one of your favorites, Ryan. I think who was the other one? 5040.
Mm-hmm.
5040.
Yeah, Plato's number.
Yeah, let me times it again by the same Lima number, and we get 1440.432.
So is that Lima number a note? I can't remember. It's been a long.
No, the Lima number is that little extra bit.
No. I know what it is. I'm just saying, is it also on the harmonic scale?
You're talking about 2.858.
You know your little Lima number from the hypotenuse.
No, it's no. It's just the x of the circle, and you use that, and you get the whole universe. So,
yeah.
God bless.
No, I'm following you, mate. I was just asking if it was also a harmonic number.
Yeah, no, but it actually it added up to 19. The sun card. There you go. What else we got? Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, we might as well. We could leave it there if you like.
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, let's not blow anyone's brains up. I want to say something to you. I secretly left 2 pages in my book to put down your work. Right?
Yep.
I think I'm going to give you 4 now.
Yeah.
So within the next 4 weeks, we'll speak about that, and we'll see how we can refine this down. And obviously, I'll put your name at the top and say this is your work. But because it is a cap on everything I've spent these years doing, you know, this seems to be like the bit that was missing. It looks. I'm sure you'll find more as well, Dane. Every time you come on, you're like, oh, I think I'm going to be a bit bored after now because I've discovered everything's like, no, mate. There'll always be more, especially for a man like yours. But yeah.
I'll just read this John Neal thing again, just quickly, real quick. It's only short. We haven't quite cracked it. The clear definition of just how length, proportion, and ratios combined remains just out of reach, but it will be found, and it will be simple. That time and distance have a more intricate relationship related to the laws of physics is undoubted. Anyway, and the linkage awaits discovery. Well, John, it's not long since you've been gone, and I think you may, or I don't know. I don't hear voices or anything, but I think you get help. I do. I think that this is not just done alone, and I'm sure there's many out there that have a similar feeling about these things. And I have heard others say this anyway about when things come like this, you can hardly take any credit. It just sort of all of a sudden happens.
Mate, yeah. I'm going to give you credit. That's a lot of hard work, and you have to be of a certain mind to be able to do this stuff in the first place. Then you have to have some tenacity to be able to stick with the numbers. You know, there are a few people within our little group that are really good at numbers. Some of us aren't, though. I'm okay at numbers. What I see you're doing is I just think it's fantastic work. And like a dog with a bone, mate, you've not let it go. And look what's come out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I did show there's a reason, and I'm just going to keep you'll understand why I'm not going to say too much about all these things. I've mentioned it in other interviews, but Ryan says, you've hung with it, you've kept the bone, and you keep going. There is a reason. There is a reason for that. And people even say, you've spoken to me before, Ryan, you've said, how do you remember these numbers, man? Like, how do you remember them, like so many, And the reason is, that Dane is 144, Abraham is 264, Quirk is 456. The whole thing adds up to 864. Then when you do you add them up, just add up 1 plus 4 plus, just add them up, you get 36. Then if you times them all together, you get 9216. You times these two together and you get the distance from the King's Chamber, 17760. This is all just Dane Abraham Quirk. Now this goes on and on and on and on and on. And I'm talking there's thousands of these that no one's ever allowed to see because you're not allowed to see it. But all I'm saying is that there's been a lot of talk for a long, long time about, even in Daniel, it says someone will become dressed in hairy stuff. It's basically like Hessian. And they'll be preaching about this. 1, 2, 6, 0. And if you go back to the Melissa and that video, and you look at my fretboard work, and you understand what this number is, yeah. So we've got fretboard done. It locks in. First fret's the moon. Second fret's Mars. Jupiter is they're all there. All the synodic periods, all built-in, all on the fretboard. Not even like close. 100% accuracy. What the hell is going on? Then we do this circle stuff, and we found, right, we did it. Like that's the hypotenuse was 3024. Then it gives you. Then we did the circumradius. Remember by the perimeter, and we got 7,923 point. Right, we got that. They didn't even leave home, people. They knew the size of the Earth before they even left. Before they even got on their ships. I love you. God bless. And yeah, be good to each other because this is the origins of all religions. The phenomenon of religion is the religion of phenomena, natural phenomena, observable, repeatable a billion times by anybody. That is what religion comes from. And this, shalom. What are the other things? You guys have got to stop blueing, because your masters, your leaders, your religious leaders will never teach you this stuff, because you just walk out. You'd never need them again. They become redundant. You would become all-knowing. You would know the blueprint of the universe and know it's no mistake, and that your brothers across in Gaza or wherever they are, Ukraine, or doesn't matter, you can understand it. We can all draw a circle, and all the laws that are here give us all these things, like planets and everything. Yeah.
Yep. Well, everybody, I'd love you all to take away from this. I mean, many of us are in these, let's call it the occult circles, because this is where it's all stashed, these Pythagorean commas, or these little extra bits that seem tagged on, that there's always something in there. Or when somebody it seems like they make a mistake, there's something encoded in there. Well, Dane's just taking this to the nth degree, clearly. Mate, fantastic work. I'm going to be shaking my head for a week again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll
Great
stop.
work.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything before we disappear? Everybody out there, I've not been on the internet for a while because I've been trying to finish that book, which is very nearly done, maybe another month. And I've been on holiday and stuff and moved house, and that went tits up. But anyway, we'll reconvene very soon. We'll try and get one final with me, you, Matt Apocalypse, Melissa Campbell on there, and maybe a couple of other people from the Jedi Academy. If anybody wants to join the Jedi Academy on Discord, there's quite a few of us now. We're doing some great work, as you can see. I'll put a link at the bottom, but that'll only be available for a week, I think, although we'll sort that out. Anything else I need to say? You can find Dane on Saturn Rooster, the year of his birth. What was it? 1981?
81, yeah. Year of the Great Conjunction, Triple Conjunction. It all gets weird.
And if you'd like to see any more of Dane's work, turn up at your local church. He'll probably appear to you.
Yes.
Probably appear in a vision.
If you go to my channel, don't subscribe, don't hit like. I don't care. Because what I'm saying is, I work on a shovel, okay, and I'm never going to sell a T-shirt or, monetize. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a man in Australia. Very basic thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me for now. My heart's been beating me crazy for the last 2 or 3 weeks since all this. Every time I wake up and I remember, the heart just goes, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. It's been amazing. So yeah, I think
we're at the point, mate, where you've actually crossed over into science so far that you need to think about publishing a paper, writing a scientific paper on this stuff.
Yeah.
I can certainly put you in touch with some people that have written scientific papers before. It's not easy to do, but they can walk you through it. Other than that, I'm gonna have, if you're still cool to do it, I'm gonna put you in this book, because fucking hell, people need to know. And like I said, I'll just say every single bit of this, Dane Quirk. I'm not trying to nick anyone's kudos.
As I've just shown you here, and I was born on the Triple Conjunction, and there's a million other things. There's a book in that. There's a book in all that stuff, which I'll never do. But basically, I don't mind. But it is very nice. I appreciate that. I do. But it doesn't matter to me that anyone mentions me. At all. If you want to steal this, people are out there and they want to steal it, make money off it, and be a piece of shit. Go for your life. Be a piece of shit. God bless.
Those kind of people won't be able to understand it, mate. they'll not get their head around it. Or they'll be asked a question and they'll be like, "Oh, can't do that." And we'll point back to you. No, I think you deserve the kudos, mate. You put work into stuff, and you should get something out of it.
No, you guys have all missed the point, because, and I mean this, I've got to say it, and I don't apologize, is that the ancients taught me one thing. There's not a single signature anywhere, nowhere. Nobody took credit for anything. And it was Randall Carlson said this in his presentation yesterday. They all gave their time freely to build these monuments, these things. And the artisans and the guild people that did all the different, say, the carving guy and the guys in the quarry and the guys that got, they all were so good at their craft and they loved what they did. They donated. It was a donation. And there was zero. No one took any credit. Go and try and find someone that says, oh, look at me. Nobody there. So that's the only lesson that I'm taking to my grave from these ancients, besides all the beautiful, wonderful things. It's that one.
Modesty. Be humble. Yeah. Well, nonetheless, I think, you know, I think we need to start some kind of a school. That's my thing. So if I can monetize your stuff and be able to build a school to teach people these things, I got no issue with that at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the future brings. I think a lot, you know, Matt's work's started to come to a conclusion. My work's coming to a conclusion. Your work's just come to something of a conclusion.
Yeah.
So let's see where we go from here. Where these next steps going to take us. That's the question.
Yeah.
Cool.